The kitchen hummed with anticipation as I prepared to make a Ninja Creami ice cream, a high-protein, ultra-creamy treat made with nothing but a protein milkshake and the power of the Ninja blender. I started by grabbing my first container of protein shake, pouring it smoothly into a pint container. Then I reached for the second container, carefully filling it up to the line, making sure not to overfill. The simplicity of this recipe made it all the more exciting. Just 2 ingredients and a little bit of patience would transform into something amazing. With the mixture perfectly measured, I sealed the top and placed the pint inside the deep freezer to freeze overnight. The waiting game began, 24 hours for the magic to set. The next day, I pulled the frozen pint from the freezer, setting it on the counter to rest for 15 minutes. This step was key, allowing the ice cream to soften just enough for blending. As I inspected the surface, I noticed a slight dome on top. Nothing a quick scrape couldn't fix. I carefully flattened the surface, ensuring an even blend. Now it was time for the transformation. I locked the pint into the Ninja Creami blender, pressed the start button, and let it work for 3 minutes. The sound of the blades whirling filled the kitchen as the frozen shake turned into a rich, creamy delight. Once the cycle was complete, I added a dash of sweetener, adjusting the flavor just to my liking. A quick check: was the texture smooth enough, or did it need more round? I decided to run a second blend, ensuring the ice cream reached the perfect consistency. Finally, the moment of truth. I opened the lid, scooped into the pint, and marveled at the texture. Silky, smooth, and perfectly creamy. One taste, and I knew this was it. A simple, protein-packed ice cream that felt just as indulgent as any store-bought treat. And just like that, my Ninja Creami ice cream was ready to be enjoyed. Cold, creamy, and absolutely delicious. Now it's time to create another Ninja Creami ice cream, this time with a rich, chocolatey twist. This recipe wasn't just about flavor, it was about creaminess, nutrition, and pure indulgence. I gathered my ingredients: avocado, vanilla extract, Hershey cocoa powder, plant protein, and unsweetened almond milk. Each one played a role in making this ice cream not only delicious, but packed with goodness. I started by pouring 2 scoops of plant protein powder into the mixture, followed by a cup of almond milk to help blend it together. After a quick mix, I added another cup of almond milk, ensuring the base was smooth and well hydrated. Next came the avocado, 1 whole cup of it, perfectly ripe and creamy, ready to give the ice cream its signature silkiness. A teaspoon of vanilla extract followed, bringing in a warm, sweet aroma. To deepen the flavor, I added a tablespoon of Hershey's cocoa powder, its rich chocolate essence blending beautifully into the mix. Finally, I sprinkled a pinch of salt, enhancing all the flavors. With everything in place, I turned on the blender, watching as the ingredients swirled into a smooth texture. Once blended to perfection, I carefully poured the mixture into the pint container, making sure not to exceed the fill line. Sealing it with the lid, I placed it in the freezer for 24 hours, knowing patience will reward me with a perfectly textured ice cream. The next day, I removed the frozen pint and let it sit on the counter for 15 minutes, allowing it to soften just enough for blending. A slight dome had formed on top, so I quickly scraped it flat, ensuring an even blend. With the pint locked into the Ninja Creami, I pressed start, and for 3 minutes the machine transformed the solid base into something creamy. For an even silkier consistency, I ran it through one more blending cycle, and the result was flawless. I opened the lid and dipped my scoop in. The texture was soft, airy, and perfectly creamy. The first bite was pure bliss, rich, chocolatey, smooth, and packed with nourishing ingredients. This Ninja Creami ice cream was everything I had hoped for. And just like that, another delicious homemade treat was ready to be enjoyed.